You're watching Satellite TV. I am James Cousineau in Vancouver, British Columbia. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Khalistan in Conversation. Over the last week, I've had the privilege of speaking with many people who were in attendance to either place their votes in the Khalistan referendum at the Surrey Gurdwara or those who have come into town to support the vote. In this episode, we'll chat with Virpal and Deep, two amazing volunteers out of many. And let's head over to that conversation now.
Hi, my name is Virpal. It's spelled V-I-R-P-A-L, and I volunteer here at the Sikh temple.
My name is Deep, D-E-E-P. Last name is Sidhu, and I'm here to volunteer for Khalistan referendum.
Excellent. And what is it that brought you out to volunteer?
You want to answer first?
So for me, it's just always been close to my culture from the beginning. I've been born in a Sikh family, and I'm proud to represent that. So I'm here now because we have the right to vote and do something for ourselves and make our own Khalistan. And I think that's a great opportunity that I'm here present for something big like this that should have been happening, I think, years ago.
And do you think that that there's a resonance with the younger community to come out and vote as well, being that, of course, they're going to be the ones that are moving forward in the future and running the countries and running, everything. So do you think that there's really a big interest in the youth movement and the youth interest in the Khalistan vote one way or the other?
I think yes. And since Deep Sidhu, he was killed by Indian state, and then Sidhu Moosewala, after that I felt there's a huge movement going on in favor of Khalistan, and Sikh youth especially, they are more aware about what's happening and what Indian government is doing to us, and they are fighting for their own state, Khalistan.
And I think not just for Sikh youth, I think all youth, especially living in Surrey or cities like this where there's a big dominance of Punjabi culture, I think there's a lot on social media and things like that, and hearing through your close friends and everything, that there's a lot of impact from like what we hear and all these posters that are up now and all this cultural movement that involves a lot of youth, not just Sikh youth, but a lot of other youth that are just involved with their friends here, and that's a big impact from us. Yeah.
Do you think that with the youth involvement in bringing awareness within the community, do you think that that is having a good effect to spread out to raise awareness with their friends of non-Sikh communities to really bring an awareness to what's going on, the history, and where you'd like to go in the future as the Sikh culture and as Canadians, but also in the international world?
Yes, I think so, because since it's now social media war as well, so youth is more involved in it, and they can spread the narrative more quickly than the people who are there in this Khalistan fight for a long time. So yes, it is very important that they are spreading, and it can be spread internationally, especially here in Canada or any other foreign countries where the first language is not Punjabi and it's mostly English and all that, and they can communicate better.
And I think if I spoke for myself, I am also 18 years old. I'm a youth myself, and I want to keep involved here because you learn a lot from the older Sikhs here at the Gurdwara, at anywhere in Surrey. You could just learn so much from them, and I think once we get that information ourselves, we have that privilege to just share that with other people who aren't even a part of this or don't have any knowledge to that. So I think that the impact that we can make right now is way greater than what our adults can do for us, because all they can do is just pass it down to the younger generations of Sikhs, and our ability is to just spread that to people who are non-Sikhs and just anybody that we have interactions with outside of our own culture, because we go to school, we go to work, and we have that ability. So yeah.
So with tomorrow, it's going to be probably a very crazy day in terms of the numbers and just everybody trying to get through to get their vote heard. And are you guys thinking that you're going to get sleep tonight in between today setting up and helping as opposed to tomorrow? Do you think you're actually going to get any sleep?
I think other than just helping, even the excitement of being a part of such a big movement and something so big for our own community, our own religion is such a big thing that I can't imagine just sleeping, because it's gonna be so impactful. And of course tomorrow is just gonna be such a huge day, not just for us but for Sikhs all around the world, and especially in Punjab. I hope that we do come through and make a huge difference. And I know tomorrow's gonna be a big day, and I'm just looking forward to that.
Right.
Yeah.
And of course, there are people coming in to be supportive of the Canadian Sikh community. So people coming in from Australia, behind the camera over there. So yeah, you've got people coming in from the U.S., from Australia, from Great Britain and such. Are you enjoying the perspective and meeting of people from different countries that maybe have different movements going on or have different ways of doing things that hopefully you're having discussions and learning about?
Yes, especially it's so nice to see that people are coming here to. That shows the enthusiasm people have for referendum for Khalistan, and then otherwise we learn about their culture, how the country is, and definitely like he's from Australia and the referendum was already done there. So then he can share his experience. How can we make everything smooth tomorrow? And that's how we are sharing all the views. And
Right.
yeah.
And for our Australian friends here, just totally different subject, but just to give everybody a bit of a laugh here, did you know that in Alaska there is still a law that you are not allowed to take your kangaroo into a barber shop? See, there you go. So
Yeah.
just a little, totally off subject, but just to give everybody a little smile there. So, but with that said, there are laws that are in place in India that really stifle people's ability to voice their opinions. How do you feel being in Canada and being allowed to voice your opinions? And can you really get the concept of not being able to speak publicly about your thoughts?
So I moved to Canada in 2007, and until I moved here, I had no clue what was happening to us. Being a kid, very protected and everything, I had no clue. And then it took me about 5 to 6 years until I figured out what happened in 1984. Because when I was in India, it was always blamed on Sant Jarnail Singh Ji Khalsa Bhindranwale, why he was there. That's why this happened. So after I learned and after I came here, that's where I felt what freedom is.
Right.
Before, when I was in India, I was feeling okay. I have my house and I'm protected by my parents. That's freedom, but that's not the freedom.
Right.
And now, even when I call back to India to talk to my relatives, and because they are in the same dilemma I
They
was
don't know
in,
what's
when
happening.
they have no
Yeah.
clue what's happening. So then I explained to them, you should come here, and that's when you will know what freedom is, and that's when you advocate for freedom.
Right.
Otherwise, once you are just stuck in some country who is doing all the bad things they can, you have no clue. So yes, Canada has given me the voice to talk and to advocate for my community's freedom, to advocate for Khalistan and get this referendum done.
Being young ladies, of course, we hear about a lot of the suppression of rights of minorities and women in India, with different minority groups in different regions. How do you feel that you are going to be able to make an impact later in life on the world by being able to just have the rights and the freedoms that you have?
I think my perspective is very different from Deepkar over here. Since I was born here, I've always had that voice and that right, and it's just such a big privilege again just to use that voice here and make an impact. And I think that's also related to your last question. I think that this whole referendum is going to be so different than what Punjab could have done because they don't have that voice there. And as women here, as just youth here, we have that voice here. And we can use that tomorrow especially. And I want India to know and I want everyone to know that we are going to prove them wrong and we're going to do better than whatever they can expect. We're going to keep it professional. We're going to keep it very straightforward. We're here to vote. We're here to speak up for our rights. It's a yes or no. It's not anything impactful. We've done all we can for promoting this, for telling them what our purpose is. But tomorrow's the day that we're not going to be promoting it. We're not going to be telling our purpose. We're just calling in everyone and getting that democratic point of view, getting everyone to vote yes or no. So it's just about your voice and how you're going to use it. And there's freedom here, so that's just how it is.
Well, and I'd love to see how much, not only here in terms of with the setup, but all of the excitement that's been going on throughout the community in the last month or so, how much the youth has really been visible. And I think that that's a huge credit to you guys, to the youth of today, to actually get more involved in politics, to get more involved in international relations. And again, as we touched on, social media really helps to bring people together, to share ideas, and to have the freedom of expression. So I congratulate both of you on just speaking out, being here to help, and just really being leaders.
Yeah.
And I just want to make last comment. I just want to appeal to everyone who lives in Surrey, Vancouver area, or who can even travel to Surrey. Come to Guru Nanak Gurdwara tomorrow from 9 to 5. There's voting going on for Khalistan referendum. Please come and vote for your country. Khalistan Zindabad.
Thank you again, Virpal and Deep, for joining us here on Khalistan in Conversation at the Surrey, British Columbia location for the referendum on Khalistan. We appreciate you taking the time to speak with us. And for our audience members, once again, we appreciate when you like, follow, and subscribe to our platforms on social media. In addition, always feel welcome to reach out to us via email at message@satledgetv.com. Once again, this is James Cousineau for Satledge TV in Vancouver, British Columbia.